These are the kind of movies that I want to see coming out of a COVID lockdown. It's not about COVID, but it uses it very well. Kimi. Now, I'm going to back up just for a second. Look, if you're new on my channel or you've dipped in and out of it checking the videos, please consider giving it a subscribe. Lets me know that you want to see more of this kind of content and it'd be massively appreciated. And also, I am trying to get into Twitter. I'm awful at it. I'm getting better. If you want to follow me there, I'll post little updates here and there. Link to that's down below. Now on with the movie. Now, I had a really good time with this movie for a lot of different reasons. So the absolute bare bone plot of this movie is that we follow Angela, played by Zoë Kravitz. In this universe, there's a kind of competitor to Alexa called Kimi, and she listens back to the recordings and really just understands what action should be taken from them and to better understand these commands that are coming in. The reason why is this is a more personally based AI, and that's the angle they kind of give it in the movie. So within her job, she comes along audio recordings of an attack. She wants to escalate this further, and she realizes she's getting blocked. That alone would be the movie. You'd see that kind of movie maybe a few years ago. But where they bring COVID in really cleverly here, it's apparent throughout the entire movie, but at no point does it feel like it's a COVID movie or some kind of political movie discussing how it was handled. It's just how it's impacted her, which is very good. Angela in this has got agoraphobia, so she's afraid of going outside and very bad anxiety. And there is a line in the movie which she does say that this has always been an issue for her, or at least pre-COVID, and that COVID just didn't help it much. That alone is what I really enjoyed this movie for. It didn't feel patronising like at all at any point. Now, while the plot of it's quite simple, it's not so much a mystery and not so much a thriller, but you're wanting to understand and just watch how Angela navigates these situations now that she's leaving her home. You know, the movie sets up that she doesn't leave. Everything she wants to do is on Zoom, by email. She doesn't even want to phone people when she's advised to do so. Hell, she even tries to take a dentist appointment over Zoom and just deal with it herself. That is the level we're talking about with this character. Unfortunately, she realises she has to leave at a point, and that I think is incredible, just watching her leave. Now, the whole time in her apartment, it's set up. There's such an attention to detail with her sanitizer around the flat, the masks that are just part of her everyday items. It's not put to the forefront. It's almost just like a reminder that this is also in the movie and this is what's added to her here. I like that touch. I like seeing that because that's how it is now. Now, I hope we're at the arse end of COVID, and when she leaves, this is where it's even passing somebody. When she first comes out of her flat, she doesn't move. She lets them fully pass and then she moves. It's almost like she's giving way. There's no need for it. It's just an absolute fear from her. And she plays that character really well because she's very intelligent, clearly. She's got her head screwed on straight and she knows what she needs to do. And she's overcoming that and pushing herself, and you see that throughout the entire thing here. Don't really want to go into too many spoilers, and believe it or not, I didn't come away with this movie with questions. Another thing I really liked is that it all ties up and it all makes sense. You know, in the start it looks kind of like Hitchcock's Rear Window, where you're looking at the neighbourhood. She's just standing at her window observing, and I started to get that vibe from the movie. It changed pace obviously as it goes on. It was a nice little example. It might have not even been intentional. Now, the movie does open on one of the bad dudes in this film. Now, I'm not going to say specifically what happened. What was quite good, it was funny but also real. It showed the Zoom call and it was very official and it was very smart, but then the camera kind of came behind his desk and we seen that he was in what looked like a storeroom that was just rubbish, and then he stands up and he's only got the shirt, blazer and tie on, and he's just in pyjamas for the bottom half. I imagine a lot of people rocked a similar outfit. Again, nice seeing it here is the subtle nods. All of the relationships in this are great as well. There's a couple that are in person, and when I say they're great, I don't necessarily mean they're all good, happy, positive relationships, but they're just believable. The dialogue is good within them. You know, there's people in her life that are concerned for her and wanting her to come out, but also understanding to where she's at. So again, there's not anyone pushy in her life. She is doing this on her own accord, and it's that kind of independence which really makes you root for this character, that she is on her own venturing back out into a world that she's taken herself out of. If I had to give any kind of criticism to this movie, is the antagonist of the movie, well, antagonists, they're a little bit kind of cookie cutter for my liking. A paint by numbers villain. Even one of the lines, I swear to God, is, we don't need to know where she is, we just need to know where she's going. That is just Villain 101 right there. It's one line out of thousands that are really good. And also just some of the shots here, not just showing off the simplicity and COVID being around, some of it was just drop dead gorgeous. The thumbnail from this video I chose specifically because it just jumped out at me. You know, there's a lot of bland colours. She's got her blue hair, she stands out, but it's very bland, kind of Far Cry 2-ish. It was all just kind of brown. She pops, but as she leaves, we get more colour kind of injected into the movie. And that progresses throughout, and it's very good to see here. Life kind of revolves around these devices, technology now. That's kind of the angle for it. And there's one shot in particular, which I'm sure that's what they were going for. And it paid off. It was a lovely shot to watch. If you're looking for a good movie, a good character movie, I would highly recommend you watch Kimi. Now, I don't want anyone to look at it, see COVID and kind of put it off thinking it's another movie banking on COVID-19, because I can assure you it is definitely not that. I would honestly put this as make time for this movie. The only reason I couldn't give it the old top tier rating is just those villains for me. They're a little bit cookie cutter, but we're not here for them. So it's okay, it gets a pass there. But look, that is some of my thoughts on Kimi. Have you seen it? If you have, let me know down below. And whilst you're there, do hit subscribe. It definitely helps this channel out and I love to see it. Drop a comment, even follow me over on Twitter. As I said earlier, I'm going to get better at that. But thank you very much for watching.